Hello, it's Paul with Logix Workshops. Today we're going to dig into the best automation reading resources. We've got 18 or so websites and online reading resources for you guys to dig into and to expand your industrial automation knowledge. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's dig into this, all right? All right, so let's go ahead and get started here. So the first web page that I wanted to introduce you to is called intechopen.com. Now I'm on the books page, but I wanted to share with you that there's 5,800 open access books, citations, 184,000, 142,000 authors and academic editors, and 3.3 million unique visitors per month on this website. This is a great resource I have found. Now, this is going to be a little bit different than what some of you are familiar with, what you expect to find on the internet, and that's why I wanted to open up with this. Here's what I found. So, we're talking about industrial automation. And some of you, this will be interesting, and some of you, this will be out of where you're at in your career. So it's not going to be something you're going to be digging into very deeply, because some of them are higher level reading. As you can see, we got wireless sensor networks and industrial automation. So if we open that up, they got new trends in industrial automation, electromechanical co-simulation for ball screw feed drive. So there's a lot here. Industry 3.0 and Industry 4.0, welding defect detection with deep learning architectures. I found this interesting because this is not your typical resource for automation, learning AI and learning systems, programmable logic controller. There are a lot of items, and you can find the print ISBN numbers right here. So you can actually order these either online or at your local bookstore if you have one near you. But these are some really interesting, I found some interesting articles and books and different things to dig into here over the years. So I highly recommend this place as one of the spots to get some places you wouldn't normally look for industrial automation reading material, online reading material. So all right, that's our first one. I really like, let's look at this programmable logic controller. We have the book, full metrics, order a print copy, recommend it to your library so you can read more about it. Table of contents, right? So this is some interesting stuff here for me personally. I enjoy some reading that's a little bit out of the ordinary, but still on topic, right? Industrial automation. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the second one. This is our Automation World magazine. All of you should have a subscription to this. Okay, I highly recommend getting a subscription to Automation World. Just come here, put in become a subscriber, and go from there. Very simple. This is also a great website for additional reading resources and learning resources here. This website's been around a long time. I'm sure you have all looked at it at one time or another, or passed by, but dig a little deeper. Take 1 month and just spend 10 minutes every other day, a day, just perusing the website and getting familiar with what's on it. Highly recommend it. There's a lot to be gained from this. Here we got new IIoT enabling industrial controller for the smart factory. Beckhoff. It's got this. You'll find a lot of the industry OEMs and professionals will do a lot of their press releases right here in Automation World. So you can keep up to date with what's going on in the industry as well as a lot of the vendors do a lot of ads and articles, things of that nature. And there's a lot of training resources here as well. So highly recommend getting your hands on Automation World. And they'll deliver it right to your house, okay? Okay, the next one. This one is a classic. This is Hugh Jack's Automating Manufacturing Systems with PLCs. I think. Okay, so you can order this hardback, but you can get a digital copy for free. Okay, and I believe this is the web page. I've not been here in many years, but This is a really great, fantastic PDF or book, and this will have a lot of high level and ground or down to earth reading for industrial automation. It's a very conceptual book, and it will break down a lot of the concepts and theories about automation. It will break it down. It talks about a lot of various things, and it gives lots of samples about what it's talking about. So let's see if we can preview this. I actually have it on one of my hard drives somewheres. I haven't opened it in a long time. I had the print copy and I had to store it because I was moving some stuff around, and my internet's going slow. So we'll have to come back to that one possibly if we have more time. But you can get a hard copy and you can download it here. All right. Okay. I'll try to put all these links, or I will put all these links down below, so you'll be able to go right to these sites and review them on your own. Because I know I'm going to kind of go through them kind of quick. But just think about this. This is really just an overview. I'm just giving you my places that I go on a frequent or infrequent basis to update myself on what's going on in the industry. All right. DeWalt has a series of books. Did you know that? DeWalt has a series of books. I highly recommend that you get these little green books, okay? Or yellow books, excuse me. These yellow books are incredibly valuable, and at some time or other, you're going to want to refer to them for one reason or another. They're just very valuable to me personally. On the floor in the real world, I refer to these on occasion, and you can get them from Barnes and Noble. They're just little, not much bigger than an index card size. About a little bigger than your phone, really. And they're thick. There's a couple hundred pages there, so there's some good information here that's good reference material, charts and comparisons. So it'll give you ohms, and it'll give you the entire Ohm's law, and it'll give you talk about pipe bending and just a whole bunch of valuable stuff. Matter of fact, I think I gave my son this one right here, the professional electrical professional reference. I think 2 days ago, I gave him a spare copy that I had. So it's really a valuable book, or a series of books. Okay, another one. Now this one is going to kind of throw you. Okay, I think. And that's good. That's what I want to do. If you knew every place I was going to recommend, you wouldn't need me, right? Okay, I think this is a valuable resource. I think that I have a different book. I think I have Networking for Dummies. I have this in PDF, and I have a hard copy. I think it's called Networking for Dummies, and I've got some other resources. But what I wanted to do is understand networking, but a little more from the IT perspective, because a lot of the industrial networks that we're working with, we have to work with IT, the IT department. We have protocols. We have standard practices. Almost every single place I've ever worked, about half of them maybe, we had an IT manager, and I had to go and get my IP addresses approved and issued to me from the IT manager. I could not just arbitrarily create an IP address. So there's numbering schemes, things that you have to be familiar with, and the more you know, the better you can communicate and work with your IT department. It's just that simple. And what you want to do is you want to be a partner with the IT manager. You do not want to be a burden. You want them to feel as though they understand you, you understand them. And this is some good information, in my opinion, for various reasons. HTML, any of you guys working with, actually this was not the book I actually had, that's the other books, I'm sorry. I got stunned it for a moment. It's like, wow, this is not what I thought it was. But I know this book. So table of contents, tools and troubleshooting, packet analysis, network design and traffic, connecting networks and routers, routing protocols, domain name systems. So this is, if you have no familiarity with networking, this is a great book to begin with. Okay, it'll introduce you to all the fundamentals, and that's what you want. I mean, you can get this online for, you know, inexpensive, but you can find it at a decent price. Get a used copy. There you go. Buy used. 19 bucks, 20 bucks. Easy. Free shipping, Amazon Prime. Right? Okay. All right. So I highly recommend this book. On the next one. Now, speaking of networks, now we're getting into an industrial automation, networking from industrial automation perspective, and that is this industrial data networks. I have this one also in PDF, and I think this is a really valuable book because it's going to, we'll look at it, it's going to share with you many of our, when we talk about Modbus and DeviceNet and FieldBus, if all those phrases are you are not familiar with them, this is the book you want. This is the book to introduce you to all those words and TCP IPs and Ethernet and FieldBus and all the fiber optics. It's going to introduce you to all of that HART protocols. Data Highway Plus, DH485, it's going to discuss all of them. And that's what you want. Something that says, hey, now I have a reference to our networking protocols for industrial networks, right? This is it. This is the book you want right here. Okay, highly recommend this book. Again, you got paperback options. I've got this in PDF myself. But here in Kindle, $18.62. It's an awesome investment. You'll learn a lot from that very book right there. Okay, this one is, every one of my techs that have ever worked for me has had to print this entire book out, and it's a substantial size book, and we worked through each section of the book. Oh, I don't know if it's downloading yet, but nope, just opening. But it does give you all the visual drawings, line drawings of a lot of and it's put out by Square D, a lot of the electrical for motor controls. Okay, so how to wire two-wire, wiring diagrams, how to do low voltage, low voltage 3-wire, 2-wire, HOA, just a lot of the wiring configurations. And if I'm not mistaken, so we got shunting thermal units. That's going to be important for you at some point. We've got overcurrent protection, just a lot of stuff. And this is not just basic stuff. I've had to refer to this when putting together MCCs and doing different projects over the years. So we have we've got a lot here. There's just a lot going on here that you can look into, dig into, and when the time comes, you'll have a reference. And that's, if no other reason, that's it. But I walk my guys through a lot of it, not all of it, especially the front part of it. So they say, oh, I got this, and this. Yeah, I've got a line drawing somewheres. Relays, lots of information on relays, and they have something to refer it to. So here we got control relays. Bam. We've got a lot of our class and type right here, exactly how to wire them. So this makes it really helpful, especially for a new guy. If you don't know, you don't know, right? Single pole, double throw. This makes sense to them. It's a great graphic. So I believe this is a great resource for anybody who's looking for some reading and something to review. All right. Next, this is another great resource. It's Textbookscom. Textbooks.com. So this website I like because a lot of colleges get their books right from here. So what do you want to? If you didn't go to college or take a class in college, specific class, you can come here and look for that college level textbook and electricity for the trades. Let's see if I can. So industrial Automation. I spelled the word right, and my internet goes quickly, which sometimes it doesn't. It's a downside of living in the country, as you're reliant on satellite internet. All right, so here's what we got. Look at this. We've just got so many books that are out there on industrial automation, process control, integrated industrial circuits, robotics. We've got a whole library of great reading resources here. This website by itself should keep you reading busy. Should keep you busy reading just this website. There's a lot of good stuff here. All right. And of course, when you're done reading them, you put it back up there and resell them if you want. They got e-textbooks. There was a website, and I do not remember which one it was. You can actually rent chapters of a book, and if I can recall that, I'll update this somewhere in the text later on. But you could, instead of renting the whole book, you can rent chapters, and you'd rent it for a week or something. Basically, you'd have access for that period of time. Anyhow, I believe Textbookscom is one of them. I didn't find that website for that, but or that page. But I believe it has that feature. All right, this one I also own. It's a really, really good book. So if you get some hydraulics, pneumatics simulation software, I think it's ETKS has a simulation software for pneumatics and hydraulics. It's a very basic level, but if you do get some of that and marry it with this book, you will learn a lot about industrial hydraulics from this book and with that software. So I have it on a different computer, but not on this one. So I really recommend this book. Get this book. Okay, if you ever expect to work on the hydraulics, I gotta tell you, this is a great book. I have a friend of mine who took, I don't know if I took this course as well, but I know he did. I can't remember if I had to take this course or not. Anyhow, I know he did not too long ago. So great book. Okay, so next, I was looking. No, I didn't update I did not update where I was looking at. So I'll have to come back to this one. I believe it was this book here, but hydraulics and pneumatics. Yes, this is it. A Technician and Engineer's Guide. This is the one. So, and again, Kindle, $11, $12, very inexpensive. Won't break the bank. This is a great one because there's a lot of similarity between hydraulics and pneumatics, but they are different. It's very important to understand they are different, and they're different for reasons. Okay, very specific reasons. And a book like this will help introduce you to that differentiation. What I like it is a Technician and Engineer's Guide, so it's really practical from a practical perspective. It's not all just theory, but it does raise the concepts of the differentiation between hydraulics and pneumatics and how each works highly similar but yet different. As you can see, there's a lot of drawings, examples as to what they're talking about. So I like this book. This is a great book. I also have this in PDF. I've got a lot in PDF, but I got a lot of hardback books as well. Okay, yep, there it is. So great reference, in my opinion. Great reference right there. Good book. And $11-12. You can get it back $56. So anyhow, okay, another resource. Yes, this one's undervalued as far as I'm concerned. It's a Rockwell Automation Technical Documentation Center, and they just have a ton of reading material on all of their hardware. I mean, there are literally people who get up, a small army of people who get up every day and write and update and document all of the procedures, processes, hardware and document all that for Rockwell. So this is a great resource as well. So if you want to read about Logix process controllers, you can do that. Compact Logix and Compact Guard Logix, you can do that. So I think this is also a great resource. And you know, it's important, in my opinion, to know where the resources are, to be able to read up on devices and processes that you're working with, specific to a particular platform. So I'm going to put this link down below. I highly recommend you guys take a few minutes, dig into it, and if nothing else, find something about a controller or some process that you want to read about and just dig into it, you know, and then bookmark this website so you know where to go back for it. This got a lot of resources here. Does your Ethernet switches, as you can read, control and load switches, control circuit transformers, controllers, Slick 500 controllers, push buttons. I mean, there's just a whole library of everything that they have, and I think that's important. It's got a knowledge base, literature library, technical specifications, product wirings and wiring drawings, product certification, documentation. It's just a library of really great resources. So I really recommend digging into this a little bit. Let's assume that this is assuming that your platform is Rockwell, and if it is, then this is a great resource for you. Okay, next one. Okay, so the next one is, now I like this one. This is Autodesk AutoCAD Electrical. It's 2023, but I actually, to be honest with you, I have 2019, 2020 AutoCAD, I believe. But either way, I lost the link to the one I had, so I just pulled this up. But this is a great resource. Anyhow, what I like about this is if you're new to AutoCAD or you want some additional reading, this is a how-to manual, and that's exactly what it is. AutoCAD's got a great step-by-step how-to. They have working with projects. It's been a while since I've been on the site, and actually when I found this, I was like, I had to come back here and spend a little more time, just because I'm not a master at AutoCAD. So it's good to spend a little time. And what you can do is every month pick something different to read on, something different to research, and reading. Now, if you'll notice on the left hand here, we got projects and drawings, right? So about the title block setup and update, right? Configure an SQL Server database, set project and drawing properties. We got electromechanical projects, right? Unlinked components, serve from location web, view web. It tells you exactly how to do all these schematic components to check your coil contact count, add default location, circuits, PLCs. It's got all panel layout, project wide tools. It's got all of it. And if you want to take a month and you're going to say, you know what, I'm going to keep in my notebook, I'm going to say, okay, this month I'm going to dig into projects and drawings. Next month you can do electromechanical, next month, etc., etc. And you limit it, but you can go through it and get familiar with it, right? If you're doing any kind of drawings, any kind of AutoCAD electrical drawings, this is a great resource. I'll put this down below. Obviously, it would be beneficial too if you have AutoCAD Electrical 2023, but you'll find one that's to your version. All right. I love this myself. I don't have to sign up for a course or anything. Go right to Autodesk. All right. The next, so right here, it just tells you exactly how to build and what to put in each. Right here about the title block and setup and update. Okay. So the next site, this one, I'll save that for last. So here what we have is we have ATP, American Technical Publishers, A classic website. This is a great one. I spent a lot of time learning with reading material on this website when I first started. So we got programming, Fanuc robots. We got Machine Shop. This is a good book. I've seen that one. I don't own that. This one I actually own. Here, actually, I got the workbook. I think it is. And nope. And I got the second edition of the Electrical Motor Controls. What I did here is I would buy each of my guys one of these books. I would get it used off eBay. And one of them I tore apart page by page so that I can make copies, and then I could hand them copies for exercises and homework and different things that I wanted them to learn. This is a great graphical book. I cannot say enough about this book. This book here, I have it in PDF. My son went to college and he gave me a copy of it. Went to as an electrical engineer. Instrumentation and process control. I had access to that one in the past. It's been a while, but fluid power. So I can personally tell you that several of these books I use to this very day. They're great reference books. So Fanuc robotics. So there's a lot of how to do things right here. And for those of you who like to handle paper and read and reference without having to have an online resource or a digital device, this is a great alternative. Okay, and these have all kinds of different quizzes and glossary if you do it online. If you do the ebook version, demos, there's just a lot of great resources with this company. Really like this one. It's an oldie but a goodie. Okay, really a good company. All right, so Automation Direct. Now, what I like about this here is they do a great job at documenting, and I think Automation Direct, I don't use their controllers almost never, but I like how you do use a lot of their devices. So getting familiar with this website, going there, reading up on their documentation, getting familiar with their resources, and reading their docs in HMI. So I've used Seymour's in the past, several of them, and they are good, basic HMI panels, very inexpensive to get started building HMIs and even to implement in a factory. So I come here and I haven't as much recently, but they got some free online training, obviously. But over the years, when I first started especially, I most certainly came here and really studied their website, their devices, tried to understand it. And there's a lot of documentation that they have, and that's sort of what I did not set this page up like I really wanted to. What I have on my list is the Automation Direct. They have a whole library of paperback books that of all the devices and how to configure and set things up and order their catalog in USB. I really recommend getting their catalog, physical catalog. Now they have an online one, and you can register for that, and it's a very dense. There's a lot to their catalog, but I really recommend it. And once you get it and you look at it, you'll know why. You'll see, oh, well, there's a lot of good stuff here. Motion control overview. I think this was, this is their PDF. So there's a lot here, and odds are you are going to use automation devices. Whether your employer tells you to, you're going to do it because the budget for a project is lower than what you can afford for Rockwell Automation, but pricing alone can force you to work with Automation Direct, and their products are very good. Customer service is actually awesome as far as I'm concerned. My experience has been. So when I first started out, I liked to see how things was put together, devices. I love this little drawing that they have here, and you can start to understand how the devices are all worked and networked together. And they do have a lot of material that reference their devices into Allen Bradley. okay, and to the Rockwell platform. So, and it's great. This is really some good hardware. It has its strengths, has its weaknesses. I know a lot of people are going to disagree on certain things, but I've used it. I like it. It works. It's relatively reliable. Okay, good customer service, and the price is right. So, they're definitely a competition for Rockwell. But I like this resource for me personally. When I'm looking up devices, I need to read up on something of their device. They have great technical documentation. So, all right. I think the last website I want to take you to is really not so much a reading resource, but this is a configuration. So let's assume I want to. These are wizards essentially. What if I want to pick a industrial computer? Now I'm already industrial display computer, right? Or let's see, industrial monitors. Let's go there. Right? There's two of them. Standard monitor. Boom. Now what it's doing is it's going to use some logic, and it's going to help at the top here. You see what we have: 6176M standard monitors. Okay, what it doesn't tell you is the last 3 or 4 digits, and that's what you're going to help them determine. So you want to make a selection. You want a 15, 17, or 19 inch. I like things big because as the older I get, I need to see it better. Panel mounted, VESA mounted. All right, panel mounted. Okay, it's mounted in a control panel. Okay, standard screen. Let's get a touch screen. I like touch screen. Power supplies and cords. All right, so just one power adapter, touchscreen cable, analog cable, USB cable. Okay, we'll just pick all of those, and you're seeing what's happening. I'm gonna go a couple on these last two here. All right. So bench or tabletop adapter mounting clips. Let's do that, and we're gonna make our selection: analog video cable, digital video, touchscreen cable. All right, so we're gonna get an analog, a digital, a digital video cable, touchscreen. See, touchscreen cable, 2 meters. Well, we don't need a 2 meter and 5 meter, right? All right. And digital video cable, we don't really need. See, but we don't need that either. And digital video cable, we don't need. Actually, we don't need touchscreen cable. All right, we'll go with that for whatever reason. Now, what it did is it told me the exact model based on the specifications that I gave them. It told me the exact model that I need. And what I recommend you do if you work with any kind of Rockwell Automation and or just as an experiment, right? This is your specifications for this monitor, okay? What I recommend is you go here and play with this. This is a great website that you can go there, and it will do this for all of their. I've not found a device yet that it won't do it for. So condition monitoring, condition sensors, drives, hard drives, or drives, motor drives, lighting control, medium voltage, motion control, motor control, IEC, and NEMA, solid state. As you can read, everything. Programmable controllers. So you can use this as a tool to specify an entire project right here. This is a great resource for you. Okay, at least it's something for you to play with. It'd be very hard. I would not specify an entire project here, but a small project, right? A couple of items. It's not bad to come in here and do this. Versus digging through some sort of catalog or something. So anyhow, it's a great resource. I think you guys should play around with, and I'll put the link down below. Okay, I've given some of the best resources I turn to. A couple of them I haven't turned to in a little while, but they're solid. They're definitely dependable resources for new, intermediate, and for some of you even the advanced. So that first web page I open up to really takes your mind to a much higher level, all right, into automation and the future of automation, and You got emerging technology, smart factory technologies. You got cybersecurity. All that's going to be relevant to us, right? Artificial intelligence, eventually virtual reality as well. All of those technologies. You can find a lot of that in the couple of these web pages. This first one in particular, some great resources here. All the way down to the Square D wiring ebook. This is a great resource. So I've tried to cover the gamut, the whole spectrum of industrial automation, smart factory technology, reading resources, and online resources. So until next time, this is Paul with Logics Workshops. Happy reading, my friends. Talk to you guys later. Bye.